Hello and welcome everyone to the roster reveals. This is the second draft tournament. My name is Lunchy and I'm joined here by SSJ4 Justin. How are we?
Oh, mate, I'm fantastic.
And we got a special guest today, Liam from the one and only Divine Minds, who have been a great supporter of the MCC series that we've run on Halo Australia. Liam, how's it going? And welcome. It's great to finally have you on one of our live streams.
Yeah, man, it's really good to be here as well. Big fan of everything that you guys have been doing, and Divine Mind really just wants to continue to support Australian Halo and really be a part of it. So I'm excited to get stuck into the roster reveals today and see what the rest of the series has to hold.
Yeah, for sure. We have some pretty exciting rosters, I think, for this one. A lot of the same captains returning from the first draft tournament, and I guess like talking about the first draft tournament, didn't expect it to be as popular as it was. I remember talking to Justin about it, and we were just like kind of thinking, what should our next event be now that the Halo 5 events are over? What can we do now internally? What can we create? And we're like, all right, let's just do a draft tournament because that's what other regions seem to be doing, and it's quite successful. And it was pretty popular, right, Justin?
Yeah, draft tournament thing. I'm a big fan. I love it. I think it's really, really cool. Last time talked a lot about the fact that it just makes things a little bit less predictable in a way when you've got, you know, consistently like eight or so teams, maybe 10 teams, something like that of the same players. You can kind of guess how things are going to go. But draft tournaments, it's a completely different story. And you just don't know what's going to happen with a lot of these players.
Yeah, anyone can win. That's the thing, right? So, for anyone who doesn't really know too much about how draft tournaments work, we use like a snake format to pick the teams. So we seed the captains based on previous results in the series, and then basically, yeah, the lowest seeded captain would pick first, highest seeded captain would pick last, and it kind of makes its way back down. So the teams are quite balanced in a way. We did have some pretty strong teams last time who, unfortunately, a lot of people had to drop out, and there were a bit of you know, interesting fills, I should say. But hopefully this one will be a little bit closer, and I'm excited to see how it goes. So I think we should probably just jump straight into it, boys. What do you think?
Yeah, sounds good to me, mate.
100% ready when you guys are.
All right. So our first roster of today is Jim Osprey. Jim is going to be
Oof.
one of the captains. He's been around for a while. You know a lot about Jim, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
You've got the Osprey shirt on right now.
Yeah. I got to shill when I can. Like, comment, and subscribe, boys.
Um,
I
so
was talking quickly to going through this roster before we started as well, and just I actually played Top Leaf was one of the first guys that ever got me involved with the Australian Halo scene. So if he's watching the stream, big shout out to him. He booted me offline a few times and then actually helped me get my 50. So I really appreciate that introduction to Australian Halo.
yeah, Top Leaf's a funny guy, and honestly, this team is I think a dark horse in a way. There's a lot of experience and a lot of OGs on the squad. Jim's been around for a long time. Sissy is I think fairly new to competitive Halo, and he's been doing quite well. And like you said, Top Leaf and Higgs, these guys have been around for a while. So if they can
Yeah, all ages.
maybe wipe off the dust on those BRs, we'll hopefully see these guys do pretty well.
Yeah, I'd say a pretty solid team overall. Yeah, they should do fairly well. I think looking at the other rosters, just a good bunch of solid players that should be able to put the hurt on all the other teams that we've just about to show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think that's a really important thing, especially for Halo 3, is that, a lot of these people have been playing Halo 3 for a long time now. They're the type of guys that hopefully can have some synergy kind of coming straight in, even though most of them have probably never played together. And if they have, it's just through random matchmaking or something like that. So, being able to see these guys build some kind of, teamwork when they're put on the spot like that, it's one of the things that I think really helps build the community even more. So, but yeah, a great start for the first team.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's move into the second team. We've got Hazza, Mental, Donut, and is it Focky?
Ooh, huzzah!
Yeah, Hazza's. I reached out to Hazza. I thought it'd be an interesting captain. Hazza's the GOAT. I mean, I've had the pleasure of teaming with him in Halo 5, and yeah, great individual skilled player. Mental, he's been around for a while, as well as the other two players, Donut and Focky. I'm assuming that's how you say it, but
Focky?
I don't know. These guys have been around for a while. Again, another squad that's like has a lot of experience, and I think if these guys get on, start grinding some customs, again, another team that might surprise a few people. Yeah, I mean,
I feel like this squad, there's plenty of gun skill involved in there and experience with competitive that they'll just fall straight into Halo 3, particularly in a draft tournament format where it's not necessarily seasoned teams that have been scrimming together for a really long time. I think the teams that are, they're more balanced with just solid individual players put together are likely to do well because there's not enough time to build up that team chemistry. So I think these guys might be one of the top performers, particularly with my boy Haz. Haz is a monster, and he does a lot of clutch things in game as well. He'll drop big multi kills and stuff like that, and that can be critical in a match, especially with just mismatched teams like this. Someone gets a triple kill or an overkill, that just opens up the map even more so, because a team that's not coordinated, like a throw together team, they're not going to know how to, regroup and respond and bounce back from being wiped and everyone being on the respawn screen.
absolutely.
Yeah, exactly, Justin. I think it's really important as well, and I think game types and competitions like this will show that even more so. The big difference between even just having individual players realizing when to play their life, and when you've got someone like Hazard that has the potential to just pull out a triple kill or even a really important double kill, where someone would normally not play their life properly. That's going to be the difference in seeing teams progress further in this competition as well. So two really monster teams straight off the bat already.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's jump into the third team that we've got. So we've got 10 teams for this tournament. A little bit less than last time. I think we wanted to try and keep it a bit more manageable. And I think we've hit the perfect sweet spot, I think, with 10 teams. Build up, was it within 2 days, I think, or it's pretty quick, but yeah, it's I think it's a nice little, the size of our community right now in MCC, it's quite good. So let's go to our third team. We got Jelly Bean returning as a captain, and his team consists of Dingus, No Hope 4, and Night Speed. So Dingus performed pretty well in the last draft tournament. Could be wrong, don't quote me on this, but I think he came 5th. So not a bad run from him. And Dingus, been around for a long time. He's a beast at Halo 3. His gamertag is actually H3 Dingus. So he's serious about Halo 3. No Hope.
Bloody hell, you'd want to be.
Yeah, right.
He's putting it all on the table.
We saw No
Guys,
Hope.
guys, I'm actually really good at Halo 2. I was just kidding, I couldn't change it.
I gotta ask mum and dad for the credit card to change my tag. No Hope 4, we saw him at the Halo Australia LAN in 2019, didn't we, Justin?
Did we?
I believe so.
But we've done so much stuff that all blends together. It's like a big online tournament and LAN soup.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well,
I was gonna say I don't know too much about Night Speed. Do you guys know? I've seen his gamer tag here and there, but
Is he an ARC player?
no, I don't believe so. No.
Don't believe so. Fresh blood, welcome.
That's what I was going to say on the back of it all blending together is like, having new people or old people come back into the community is so important at the moment. We've got essentially, 10 months until Halo Infinite comes out and all these competitions, and encouraging people to come back, whether it's playing Halo 3 or Halo 5. There is no division. We're all Halo fans. And seeing people that have, participated in competitive Halo in Australia before and are coming back into the scene already now, that gets me pumped. That gets me hyped. And even new players like, was it Nightspeed?
I think he's been around. I've seen his tag before, so he might be, like you said, one of the older school players making a return, which is really good to see, especially with Infinite coming out at the end of the year. You know, it's a good opportunity to get back in the swing of things, right?
For sure, yeah.
All right. So moving on to our fourth roster of today, we have Team Carnage. So Carnage actually did surprisingly well. I think to a lot of people, didn't expect that team to. They came third in the last tournament, and almost caused some big upsets. So Carnage, My Mind's Gone, Reeds, and BlackQuest 69. The tag always gets me, but Carnage actually he got to pick My Mind's Gone again. So those two, they're the duo. They were on the same team last time. So it's good to see that they sticking together, and maybe with Reeds and BlackQuest they might be able to squeeze out a few more wins.
Yeah, there's some really solid players in there, and Reeds in particular, like he hasn't been like an active practicing competitor, but he in my mind he could jump back in any time and be in top performing team. So him coming in might not have the practice, but people better watch out because he can play.
Exactly. And
I've seen My Mind's Gone gamer tag around as well. But the first feeling I got when I saw BlackQuest 69 is that there should just be a bracket 1, bracket 2, bracket 3 in the lobby with it, and it takes me back to those late nights of playing Social Slayer back in the day.
Yeah, so My Mind's Gone. He won the Arc. No, so not the Arc. The Halo Competitive Channel BR tournament. And I don't know if he uses mouse and keyboard. I don't think he does. But yeah, he's individually he's a beast. So I think under the leadership of Carnage, who's been around for quite a while, who's significantly improved over the last year and a bit. I think we'll see those guys cause some upsets again. So. Oh, by the way, I just dropped a code for the MCC Know Your Roots nameplate. So if you guys, it's invalid. Ooh, someone's already got it then, Ingestic. Someone's beating you to it.
That was the only code that 343 gave us, guys. Sorry,
just the one.
Everyone, shut up shop.
Just the one.
Just the one.
All right, moving on to our next roster. We'll have more codes. I'll be dropping them randomly in the chat, so just be ready. All right, moving on to our next team. I think that's Carnage. All right, here it is. Jace, Practical Ra, Acius, and Nick Caesar.
Ooh.
So this team is
another awesome
pretty
team,
interesting. Hey? Jace, he stole my boy Prac. I wanted Prac again for the next draft tournament. And he slithered in and took the pick one round before me. So he's a dog, and I'll never forgive him. But this team is pretty interesting, right? Because you've got Jace and Prac, both individually skilled players. Acius also really individual skilled. He's from the Arc, and been keeping an eye on his progress in some of the streams that I've been watching, and he seems to be doing quite well. I don't know much about Nick Caesar, but yeah, I feel like this team could either get first rounded, or they could end up winning the tournament. It's like they're a true dark horse. I really mean that.
Well, see, I think that's one of the best things that this competition brings. Like all of these teams we've seen so far have got some level that makes them really competitive. And, it's the teams that if the captains aren't feeling 100% confident, if they get on with these players and get a chance to show them some of the basics before they start, whether it's, just some different call outs for maps, make sure that everybody knows what they're saying when they're calling something out. Or if it's being able to, like I said before, teach them how to play their life, or, if they get an idea of who's going to be running for power weapons or for power ups, That's something that can make a really big difference in this, and especially going to be, the big line in the sand when you look at how capable all of these teams are and the play time these players have got.
Absolutely. Oh, what have I done?
And whoa, what's going
There we
on? Jace is mouse and keyboard. So
Not anymore. He's
backed out.
yeah, he couldn't commit.
Nah, mouse gang. Although in Halo, I'll pick up a controller. Let's be fair. I play both sides. You all know it.
Yeah.
All right.
So, and was there any major reason for that? Sorry, I know we'll stay on topic with the thing, but was there just a preference? Do you know? Because I think I've watched a lot of Jace's clips that he's put up on YouTube and to a ton of places, and his sniper accuracy, his no scope accuracy, obviously playing on PC with mouse and keyboard, was insane.
Yeah, when I play Halo on PC, I'll only play with mouse and keyboard because it's just matchmaking. Have a few beers, and I don't really care about losing. And really, it's all down to the BR. You just can't consistently four-shot people with a mouse and keyboard unless your tracking is just through the roof, and you can't afford to lose. And the auto aim on controller, close up, it makes it really difficult to compete. And the sniper rifle, absolute magic. You can no scope people across map. Really easy to use. Anyone with any kind of mouse and keyboard experience can annihilate people with a sniper. But sniper is just a small portion of competitive play. You remove that, and then you're back down to the BR. And we haven't had 10 plus years of experience with mouse and keyboard playing Halo, so you need time to adapt to that kind of stuff. And sometimes it's better to just fall back on what's comfortable, particularly in a competitive setting where consistency is probably the most important part. So will mouse and keyboard players be able to reach that same potential? Absolutely. Absolutely they will. But the thing is that not just yet. I think over the long term you might see it, but in the short term, people just jumping back into Halo and then expecting to compete with people that have played controller for so long and that are so good at it on one particular game. I can't really see it happening. So maybe that's the reason why he decided to switch back to controller just for a bit of fun. But
he's just scared, to be honest.
He's scared.
He's scared. No, I agree, Justin. I agree. I think for me, they both have their pros and cons, right? I mean, there's so many advantages and disadvantages for both. Like you see mouse and keyboard, you mentioned sniping. You can also spin around and in seconds, right? Like milliseconds. But yeah, like you said, it's whatever you're comfortable with. And if people are obviously having played controller for 10 plus years, they're going to be better with controller, and it makes sense to play with what you're comfortable with for a tournament that has prize money. So
yeah, and the mouse and keyboard can be very, very flicky. And I mean, most Halo players, they'll play at a lower sense, right? I don't know what you guys play, but usually around 4, something like that, depending on which game it is. And that seems to be consistent with a lot of people. And 4 sensitivity, it takes like a full second or so to do a full turnaround. But as you said, Lunchy, you can do a full 180 with one flick of your wrist with a mouse, and that's just too touchy for tracking 4 bursts of a battle rifle together consistently. Yeah, you can get there with some practice, but muscle memory is king, and no one's really had enough time to build up that muscle memory, in my opinion. So,
well, there you go. That's a huge focus now on whether Jace can aim or not. So everyone's going to have to keep an eye on him and no more pressure than he deserves. So,
all right.
I'm glad we covered that.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll move on from little girl that's too afraid to use his mouse and keyboard and talk about the next team, eh?
All right. So the next team is my personal favorite, and I think that they'll probably end up winning the event. Consists of Lunchy, T-Fox, Evolves, and J-Banger.
Oh, speaking of this team, Lunchy, my delivery of wooden spoons just came in. So just drop me your address and I'll send it to you.
Well, I'm pretty sure we spoke about that last tournament, about someone goosing or or whatnot. And pretty sure I went 2-2. I'm not sure how Evan went though. You should probably check in on him. I don't know what he's been up to.
He's still in exile after getting his bum handed to him multiple times.
Lunchy, I'm really interested though to kind of get your perspective on this. Like as a team captain that we can talk to right here and now, you've got these 3 players. How are you kind of approaching it leading into the competition? Have you got like a mindset? Are you guys going to be like practicing and scrimming? How are you guys approaching coming into it?
Right. So I think the idea was to basically we did this last draft tournament. We wanted to put the teams out a week before, allowing everyone to kind of get to know their team. Obviously add each other on Xbox and social media. But more importantly, so that they can practice if they want. Right. It gives them that week to go over some things, maybe play some matchmaking together. And I've played with T-Fox and Evolves quite a bit, but not too much in a competitive setting. So yeah, I chose those 2 guys just because being mates with them, it's easy to, I think, transition into forming a squad, knowing that you'll all get along pretty well. But J-Banger I don't know anything about this guy except for the fact he used to play. Someone told me, I think it was Tubbs, told me he used to play on a team Banff. Or something like that, or he used to play back in the day, being quite a skilled player. So I don't know how he's gonna do. If he's watching this, I hope he is. Start grinding, J-Banger. I want to see some big things from you, mate.
And so, what do you think's like the most important thing? If you can give J-Banger or any of the guys for that matter that in the competition and not quite up to the level that a lot of other players are, what do you think is the most important thing they could focus on in the next week or so that help them really perform optimally?
I think obviously, yeah, like having that week buffer before the tournament being next Sunday, right? Get in contact with your team. Make sure you're in contact with your team captain, adding your teammates. But I guess most importantly, start getting in these custom games, right? Playing social. We all know
literally anything. If you've only got a week to prepare and you haven't been playing, the most important thing is just getting
into the
your
game.
aim back. A lot of things will just fall back into place naturally, but unless you give yourself that time, it's just like riding a bike, really. And it's like the whole fitness thing. You had a time off from the gym or whatever, and that first couple of days back at the gym is always the toughest. That's what it's like to Halo. So you don't. Or any game, you don't want your first day back to be tournament day because you're gonna have a bad time. So just use the week and bust off the rust.
There's customs running every night on the competitive Halo Discord. So there's no shortage of practice if you want to be involved, right? So anyone who's hasn't played in a while, or maybe they haven't played competitive Halo before, the competitive Halo Discord is the place to be because there's customs running every single night. So get on that. That's really important.
I think that's a really important thing to point to make. And for anyone that's watching the stream or in the chat, or even if you're not watching it live and you're hearing this, you can come and just be a part of the Discord, get yourself involved in those custom games, and then you're going to naturally meet people and your skill level is going to improve. So I think that's a really awesome thing to talk about, especially because, the whole point of doing this is to grow the community more. So if you can get involved in the custom games, if you can get involved in the competitions that you guys are running, it's just going to give you more and more opportunities for people to play with coming into Infinite. And when we get that surge of player base with that Infinite naturally brings, it's going to put you ahead of a lot of people if you want to play competitively, or if you just want to play for fun and have a little bit of a competitive advantage in matchmaking. So that was an awesome thing, I think, to kind of cover quickly.
Yeah, definitely. That's really easy to get involved in. With Infinite coming up at the end of the year, right? Now's the best time to do it, and that's why we run these draft tournaments, so that the community can compete and kind of get to know each other. There's so many different groups of the community, right? You've got the Halo 5 players, the Halo 3 players, Halo 2 players, whatever. But the
not even that,
right,
just the subgroups, dude. Of
there's
the little gangs. They all have their little ins and outs. I'm in all of them, of course, because I'm the most popular person in Halo. But now probably it's seducing.
I'm jealous of it. My beard is like I'm feeling a little bit. What's it called? Like I actually don't know the word because it's not normal part of my vocabulary. But when you're like not as good as something,
That's when you're
from
not
looking
me.
at your beard. Yeah, fair enough.
No, you got to let it grow out, bro. You got to go full castaway Tom Hanks beard, like full out, and then you trim it back like a hedge.
Hopefully that
You
helps
get
me
the
play
clippers
Halo
out and
as
just
well.
The chainsaw, dude.
and you just chainsaw, well oiled.
All right, I think we should move on to our next team. We're down to the last few teams, and these ones are pretty interesting. So our next roster coming up, we've got Transitions, Chasings, Kevy, and Mechman126. So
My condolences for who had to pick Evan.
yeah, look.
So why wasn't Kevy a captain?
Because he's not good enough.
He's not good enough. No, I did ask. I actually did ask Evan if he wanted to be a captain, but he pretty much said, "Yeah, I'm not good enough, and I wouldn't be a good captain." So,
fair enough. At least he knows it then.
We've
I was
got
giving you guys the like actually drop some banter there, but it was just the straight up not good enough.
yeah, it's the truth hurts.
Don't let the
sometimes.
truth hurt. Yeah, it's the truth.
So it's good to see Transitions back competing. He hasn't played a lot of competitive Halo recently. I think the last tournament he played in was start of last year, actually. But yeah, it's good to see Jimmy playing some tournaments again. We've got Chasings, who did really well in the last tournament. I think he might have actually been on the winning team. So he's I guess, yeah, I think this team is really interesting. There's obviously Kevy, ignore him, but Mechman as well. Been going over some games with him. He's from the Arc Discord. I think he might even run the Arc Discord. But yeah, he's been getting involved a lot with customs, and excited to see how he improves as well. And this is a good team for him, I think, as well. A lot of experience.
Yeah, and Transition as well. Back at MEO, Melbourne Esports Open, did he end up taking second place or was it third? Consistently when we were running those things. I know that wasn't really a proper competitive format, but he was consistently doing really, really well in just kind of mismatched, weird environments. So a draft tournament might suit him where it's, he can take advantage of weirder situations, and it would be good to see how he goes in this tournament. And it does look like a solid lineup. We talk a lot of smack about Kevy, but Evan is definitely a solid player. And if you need a fourth player on your team and there's literally no one else left to pick from, he's definitely a good choice.
Yeah, Evan is a montage beast. He's got a really good shot. I think for him it's just learning MLG, learning the maps, and the decision making. But if he can get that, I don't see why that team couldn't do really well in the tournament. So yeah, I'm excited to see how those guys go as well. And yeah, Nightspeed Chasings is very good. You're right. He's he did really well in the last one. So expecting to see those guys for some upsets. Should we go
it's
into
a scary
our next
duo,
one?
just those two. Yeah, let's do it.
I think we're down to our last three teams or last two teams now. So these are, where are we? We're up to, all right. All right, Team Mantis. We got Manus, Monza, Tunnels, and Slippy. So Manus picking Monza for his first pick. A bit controversial. Not sure, the reasoning behind that. But Monza has been grinding Halo 3, and she's been getting a lot better. So this team, especially with Toddles has been around for a very long time, and I've teamed with him a little bit, and obviously he was an Osprey as well, Justin.
Yeah, he played with Osprey for our H3 LAN up in Logan. So he was filling in there, and
Who did he fill in for?
I think it was
Wheezy or something.
It was Lucas. Lucas, I'm calling you out, bro. I was like, Lucas, I'll pay for your entry. Jim will pick you up. We'll drive you to the tournament. He ghosted.
Wow.
Ghosted.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
the truth comes
but
out.
that's right. Toddles jumped in. He teamed with Jim before, long-time Halo 3 player, and Jim vouched for him, and he got in, and he performed really well with the squad. So I was happy with him. Nice bloke, and he's very good. And you know what? I'm looking at this roster, and people better watch out. Slippy as well. Like him being a fourth pick. I know he hasn't really been involved in a while, but he's got that competitive mindset, I think. And all he needs to do is bust off the rust and, watch out. So I reckon this might be one of the stronger teams that we've seen so far.
Yeah, for sure. And if you take into account the amount of competitive that Mons has been playing, I think as well, she could have very well been someone, as a team captain, choosing somebody else. You know what I'm saying? The effort that she's putting into and the caliber of players that she plays Halo 4, Halo 5, other games with, that's the type of thing that if you're given enough time and practice, you can bring that into any of the Halo titles and a whole heap of other games as well. So it's going to see good to see how these four players mesh together in the actual competition.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. Like you said, Manus has a lot of experience. He's always on customs. He's the one organizing the customs every single night. I think my last 30 messages with Mantis are just a copy paste of him saying, customs tonight, sign up on the Discord. And he just pastes it every single day to me and a bunch of other people just to organize the customs. And, it's annoying, very annoying, but you got to respect the hustle.
Absolutely. And something else we haven't touched on about Mantis, the fact that his coaching experience as well. And when you have a throw together team, if you have someone that can come in, take the leadership and, get a team focused, looking at everyone on there, he would definitely, out of all the captains, he'd be one of the top picks for being able to, whip a throw together squad together. That's definitely something to consider.
He didn't want to be a captain in the first one, and I was like, you'd be the perfect person to be a captain. You have a lot of experience in Halo 3, and you can get people fired up and ready to play. So, I'm glad that he's a captain for this one.
Sometimes the best leaders are the ones that are the most reluctant. They do it because the situation calls for it, not because they want it or they think they're a leader. So. Maybe he's the perfect leader because he didn't want to be a captain. So it could be a good thing for his squad.
Sure. All right, and we're down to our last. Now we're down to our last two teams, and these last two teams are pretty interesting. I mean, I say that for all the teams, really, right? Like every team is like, oh, I wonder why these guys formed together. I wonder why you picked that. But these last two are really, really interesting. So we got next is Junior, Husey, Junda, and Gorthir. Now, two of these players, Junda and Gorthir, are both from the Arc Discord, very new to competitive Halo. And then you've got Junior and Husey, who have both been around competitive Halo 3 for a very long time, a lot of experience. He's a turret. Yeah, you're right, Ash. He is a turret. He will be standing still, beaming people across the map. So 2 mouse and keyboard players on this team. So very interesting to see.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm actually looking forward to seeing if Junior and Mantis's teams get to play against each other because the two are quite good friends. I know that Mantis was Junior's best man at his wedding as well. So I'd like to see these two face off and see if there's any good banter in there as well between the two.
Yeah, well, I mean, is Junior going to be out of practice? He's been on the content grind. So maybe he's going to be a bit rusty, boys.
No, he's been playing customs, dude. He's been grinding that.
Oh, he does it all, does he? He can do everything.
His content is the content is Manus, Junior, Rabbi. When they're together, there's some funny stuff that goes on. You gotta watch some of these live streams, Justin. You gotta watch maybe some of these Junior live streams. They're pretty good. But he's been grinding, and he has been grinding. So has Manus and I think Husey. I think I saw him in last night as well. And I guess talking about the other two players, Junda, I picked him in my team for the last draft tournament. And he's improved significantly, right? He's having no experience in competitive Halo at all to now being a pretty solid pickup. Playing mouse and keyboard, and I don't know too much about Gorthir, but also a mouse and keyboard player from the Arc, who's been performing pretty well on those Arc customs. So, yeah, I think as Sissy said, this is underrated team, and I think they could do quite well with the leadership of Junior and Husey.
Yeah, for sure. And this is a really cool, like, when I look, I get to spend a lot of time talking to Junior because obviously he's a part of Divine Mind, and this is a guy who has that absolute potential of being one of the best in the world. Junior's mentality when it comes to competing is so strong. He has a great understanding of what it takes to win, and the effort that it takes to what you got to put in behind that as well. And one of the things that we've been working on is his work capacity to be able to put out content, to be able to stream, to be able to compete, to be able to build, a good network as well, so that he has a really good platform to lead off into Infinite with. And I got to say, I'm super proud of him and take the moment to kind of give him a shout out for all the hard work that he's doing. And if there's anyone in the Halo Australia community, that really enjoys watching the content, he's somebody to kind of make sure you follow his journey between now and Infinite, because it's going to be a super impressive one to look back on.
Yeah, I kind of echo all of those same things. I mean, the amount of budding content creators that I've seen over the years in all different communities of people like, I'm going to be on the content grind. I'm on the grind. They stream a couple of times and then they hang it up. And, there's a difference between pretending that you want something and then actually going out and getting it. And Junior is showing the attitude and the work ethic, and it's gonna play off big time. And if you're one of those people that wants that same thing, you start now. As soon as this stream's over, you need to start making a plan, because if you're waiting for Infinite, guess what? You're already behind the 8 ball. So Junior's getting in early, and you should too. So follow his example.
Yeah.
And his stream.
And like, I'll follow his stream and his YouTube and everything like that. And I'll take the opportunity just quickly to shout out something that Divine Mind does. We have a group of Halo content creators called our New Recruits. And I check in with them every single week with a video tip on how to improve their content. They check in and they send through improvements on their stats on all of their social medias. We talk about how the algorithms work in all the social medias and how to improve them as well. And it's just being a part of a community of like-minded people, not just from Australia, but from all over the world that want to be Halo content creators. So if you're watching this and you want to get started and you don't know how to do it, you can hit me up. I'm obviously Hi Drisney on everything that you could possibly find me on, or just search for Divine Mind AU as well. And we'll do our best to help support you as well, because the more people that are putting out quality Halo content, the better the community is going to be for everybody that loves Halo, and that's what it's all about.
Well said.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, last team.
All right. This last team, I think, is probably the favorite to win it, which annoys me because Dream won the last one. But we got Shroom, Eclipse, Compact Singer, and Recent. Now, this team has a lot of slaying power. Shroom, Eclipse, Compact Singer. These guys are grinding. Customs every night. So I think they're definitely one of the favorites to win. This team probably shouldn't have happened. But you can all blame Manus for that one. And his pick. But yeah, look, I don't know too much about Recent. I think I was talking to, I think it was Sissy, saying that he's been around. He used to be an OG back in the day. Hasn't played quite a while, but look, the other 3 players, these guys play quite a lot. So, yeah, I think these guys are definitely the favorite. This is the team to beat.
Yeah, it's awesome to kind of see 4 talented players coming together as well. And I think that when we've seen a competition with rosters like we've been through today, with so many teams being super close, it might be good to have a favorite, because I think it will hopefully it'll push a few other players, the Mantises and the Juniors, to really take their team under their wing and push them to kind of put in whatever time and effort they can in the next week to really challenge these guys, because with what looks like it's going to be such a close and competitive series. I think it'd be good to kind of have a little bit of that storyline there where these guys are meant to be the favorites and then there's an upset at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. You just have to see how it plays out, and just highlight Eclipse here again. And I keep banging on about it, but when you have throw together teams, you kind of need those, those leadership positions, and I've witnessed Eclipse on LAN not take anyone's crap, and it's like someone's making a bad play, he'll go in and he'll call them out for it. So when you've got like a week to practice on scrims, you can't, be in the honeymoon period. It's like it's time to go. No, you just did something really dumb, and if you do that on the weekend, I'm gonna kick your ass. So Eclipse would be someone I'd be looking to on that squad to get him whipped up into shape.
Yeah,
Chasing saying throw together.
Yeah, look, you like I said, you can blame Manus for this, but I think that even though this team is quite strong, they're not unbeatable. I mean, we saw especially with the last draft tournament, we saw a lot of upsets. Teams that you thought they would make it all the way to winners finals ended up going 0-2. So I feel like even if you have 3 players that all have experience with competitive Halo, or might have a lot of individual skill, you don't know how well they're going to play together as a team, right? That's the thing. Communication plays a big part, and if they're arguing on the day or all over the place, you don't know what's going to happen. So look, I think these guys will do really well, and like you said, Liam, it's good to have kind of a team to beat, right? And I think that's this team.
Yeah, awesome. I think it sets that narrative, and it gives what looks like it could be, a throw together, series of all these different teams and all these different players that may have not got much chemistry together. It creates a narrative, and sometimes that's all you need to have an even more competitive series. So I'm looking forward to seeing how all of these teams compete, and I'm going to keep my eye on these guys as well.
Definitely. And that is all of our teams. We've just gone through all 10 of the rosters. So for everyone watching the stream, please, I can't stress this enough, get in contact with your captains. Start getting your squads organized, because we don't want a repeat of last time where you find out, oh, my team actually can't play. 2 of them are moving house or something. The day before the event, right? You make sure you organize your teams as soon as possible. So the captain's really putting some responsibility on you guys, because that's just how draft tournaments kind of run, right? It's not really something that us as tournament organizers can supervise fully. So we're kind of relying on you guys to step up and make it a lot easier for everyone, not just for us, but for everyone, that we don't have big delays and roster changes and stuff like that. So please organize your teams and start grinding.
Yeah, particularly because Lunchy's playing as well, so he wants to focus on his game, not babysitting your teams that won't answer their messages. So
that's it.
I just wanted to
team. Yeah,
to follow on and kind of echo that in a slightly different way is, if everybody's enjoying these competitions and wants more of them, we have the power to do it. But you guys have to take it upon yourselves to make it easier for us to run. So, for the leaders and the people that have been around for a long time, take the initiative to just be a little bit more ahead of the game, and making sure that you've got all of your team added, you've got all of the game types that you could possibly need, make sure that you know exactly who you're playing and what's going on. And if you're making it easier to run the competition, we can look at having more teams. We can look at having, more prizes. We can do more for the community, but the community has to show us that they want it. Because that's one of the big things with Australian Halo is we're so lucky to be getting some of the support that we are now, and if we show them that we deserve it by the way that we can run and the product, the production that we can put into things, the more that we're going to get when Infinite comes out. So if you're the type of person that's tweeting about how much support we don't get and all of the negative things, this is a great opportunity to take it upon yourself to actually help improve the state of Australian Halo. So I just wanted to kind of echo what you guys said just then, and make it really, transparent that this is an opportunity to help the scene grow, even if you're not playing, just by making the competition run smoother.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it is simple as this, right? Even if you're not going to watch streams or anything like that, just going on Twitter and liking stuff, commenting or viewing people's YouTube videos or whatever, little bits of support, they all matter, because there are eyes on us. And thanks to a couple of guys that are here now, we've made a lot of headway with the international community and that support. But we've got to keep going because Infinite's coming, and that's where we want to hit it the hardest. So we're laying the groundwork now. And speaking of, there might be a cheeky little announcement this week as well about hashtag Osprey. So speaking of support, like, comment, subscribe.
We back?
That's how you segue. Take that, Linus.
And I guess, yeah. I guess one quick thing, also to just quickly touch on, we run these tournaments for free, and we take a lot of the time.
You're not getting paid?
No, you didn't know?
I'm not getting paid. I'm not getting paid.
We run these tournaments for free because we love Halo, right? And we want to build the community, build the brand, and so if donating is something that you are interested in doing to help support these events, you can find information for that on haloaustralia.com. Scroll down to the very bottom. I might, see if I can post a link. I'll do it at the end. But if you are, everything counts, and it all goes to the prize pool. So, yeah, consider donating. Otherwise, we might have to end up charging entry fees and stuff like that. And I know a lot of people, for a lot of people, a lot of these events are just fun, nostalgia, coming back, and they don't necessarily want to pay entry fees. So consider it. But
it makes things simpler as well, right? We want things to be easy to people. They just, they put their name in the box, who else is on their team, and they just click go. So keeping fees out of it makes it more streamlined and more likely to have people signed up because, people like things to be easy and breezy. They just want to play. So
that's it.
If you don't have to, edit in your credit card details every time you want to sign up for a tournament, it makes things easier.
Yeah, see, the money doesn't come from from nowhere, right? A lot of it is donated through the community and especially through Divine Minds. Liam has been very, very supportive of our MCC Pro series and sorry, not MCC Pro, just the MCC series. But yeah, Divine Minds have been a great help, and there's been a bunch of you that have already donated, and really appreciate it. So thank you so much, and yeah, hopefully we can get some more.
Yeah. And just to quickly put this in perspective for people as well, that's not like a selling out thing of, we want money for doing it, in order that Justin said it as well, a simple like and retweet on social media and sharing the content that, both Divine Mind, Halo Australia, Lunchy, Justin, everyone's putting out. It doesn't matter who it is. If they're a part of the community and they're putting out content, you showing your support and being supportive and being a positive part of the environment, that is almost more important than the money or donating side of things. So, we just want to get more people with that hugely positive attitude, trying to put back into the community. And I just thought I'd kind of clarify that as well. But definitely, there are some amazing people that are donating and putting hard-earned money into it as well, and that's always welcome because it goes straight back into, like you said, prize pools and making more competitions available for the players themselves.
Yep, exactly right. We're just going to keep supporting the events. If we all just come together and keep supporting these events, we can keep running them. Justin. But I think that's pretty much that's it. I mean, unless you guys have any last things you want to mention.
No,
really. Super pumped. So just so that everyone that's here now knows, when is the competition running, and are we going to be able to put a list together of people that will be streaming the event? Because I know there's no theater for us to actually stream it, but right. Is there something that we can do to kind of put it out there for more people to be a part of?
Yep. So same as last time, the rosters will be available to view public for everyone in the competitive Halo Discord and the Facebook group, as well as on Halo Australia. Your rosters will be formed when I get some time later tonight. I'll chuck you all into your rosters and register everyone. You don't have to worry about all of that. Just make sure that you are basically in contact with your team, so you know who you're playing with. And as for streaming, we'll be posting up a bunch of streams on the Facebook group as well. Like you said, obviously no theater, so we can't live stream it the same way. But with there's a bunch of competitive players. I'll be streaming. I think Junior will be streaming. Carnage will be streaming, and I think Sissy as well. So there's at least 4 or 5 POVs that you'll be able to switch between in the tournament.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Cool.
Thank you for everybody that came out to be a part and watch us announcing the rosters. Really appreciate even just this viewership means a lot. So thank you guys for that. And also thank you for anyone that's chosen to follow along with Divine Minds' journey. We really appreciate the support that we're getting from everybody as well.
For sure. And I mean,
All right, everybody. Yep. Sorry, Lunch.
you guys have been a great support for Halo Australia and the scene. So thank you for joining us in today's live stream.
Can't wait to do even more.
For sure.
See you guys.
There you guys. Thanks for watching.
Peace out.